Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Podcast. I'm Janique and I'm an illustrator and artist here in the Pacific Northwest. I am mostly a digital and watercolor artist, and I paint and design illustrations that are based in Asian pop culture, your K-pop, anime, BL type things. For those that are into that. Obviously, this is the first podcast. I don't know what I'm doing, but my motto for 2023 is stop being perfect and do it anyways. So this is the big reason why I wanted to start a podcast. Second reason is because I am finding that I need to put myself out there way more, and people know my art locally, but they don't really know me, like the person behind it. So I wanted to put more of myself out there and like get people to know my story and like maybe connect with me and like create a bigger family of creators in the world. So a little bit about me. I have been doing art for all of my life, like everybody says. So I actually went to art school in Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to Savannah College of Art and Design. I studied illustration, graduated with a BFA, and then proceeded to do nothing with art for the next 8 years. But I recently got back into creating and really have always wanted to have an art business, but in the way that I wanted it. So I was always inspired by, I guess they call it like lowbrow art, or they used to call it lowbrow art. When I was kind of coming up in the creative scene in Atlanta and in New Orleans, it was very much focused on fine art. And nobody was making like comic style illustrations. No one was really known for graphic novels like that, or it wasn't a focus. It wasn't interesting at that point to the big art snobs, I guess. But I really loved and enjoyed animation, like anime, Japanese animation, comics, and specifically manga. And I just like started growing into this really interesting world of Asian pop culture, and I of course got into like different things like K-pop through that, and K-dramas, and just like the whole culture of like pop culture in the East is very different from the way that we might look at it here in the West. So I just really enjoyed that, and it was always colorful to me. So that's really where my interests stem. And I've also struggled a lot with like imposter syndrome, like feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough to have my artwork somewhere. Like it's not fine art. So then what is it? Like I want to sell my art, but like people at the local craft fair don't understand it. What is this? Like they don't get it. So it was really hard. It was hard in the early thousands, in the early 2000s and whatnot, to like really do that and hone in on that as a career. So of course I kind of just like found other avenues to have to get money and to like have a actual like job. But like recently, within the past year, I made myself really focus on getting back into not only just like the art that I enjoy, and I really love like traditional watercolor ink, those sorts of mediums, but also just like the things I enjoy, and really putting it out there for the world to see. And I decided I wanted it to be a business. Like I do really great art. I want to see like really cool portraits of like my favorite K-pop people. Like I want to see like really interesting and colorful cool things that other fans like me would enjoy. And I thought about it and I'm like, there's nothing really out there for folks that are like BL fans or for anime fans or for, well, there's actually a lot of stuff for anime fans, but there's not really a lot for like the triple threats out there who are into like Chinese dramas and um like I said, Thai BL and K-pop and stuff. And I'm like, why is that? Why is that? Why can't we have nice things too? So I created the nice things. Um, and for the most part, people have been like really excited when they see me at conventions because they're like, oh my gosh, you have this like niche thing that I really like. Which is always fun to find fans of the things that I'm fans of at these conventions. I am currently finishing up my first year as an Artist Alley convention seller or vendor. And my very first convention was here in town in the Pacific Northwest. And I owe it all to the people in my social circle being like very supportive and saying, yeah, you can totally do this. And just being like there for me to go ahead and like forge all these steps to realize my dream. Um, my very first, I guess, like exhibition kind of fueled that here. Like I got to join a Black art exhibition in 2021, and people were like excited about a particular piece that I had done. And I was like, well, I wonder if I make prints of this, would people buy them? And people did. So I was like, okay, well, what if I did this for like all of the other things that I really like? Which at the time my art was kind of like nebulous. It was focused on it wasn't really focused, let's say that. I was doing artwork that was just things that I liked or was interested in. So I was doing a lot of like mental health or like uh, like mental wellness art pieces, and then I kind of floated into, well, I like K-pop, so let me do like portraits of K-pop. That was also my way of practicing my art because I'm one of those that I know practice is important, but I don't practice. I kind of just jump in and like do a piece. I don't really plan it out, and I'm taking the steps to actually think about those things more, like how to plan out pieces with like the color and the design and all of that. I just jump in. um, but yeah, I was doing like mental health and wellness uh, inspired pieces that were just like out of my head. And then I started working towards like, okay, well, I want to learn how to draw people better. Let me do portraits of K-pop um, biases so that I can enjoy what I'm doing. And that led me down a path of like just making all of these really cute and interesting and fun illustrations in my sketchbook for like the rest of the year of 2021. And then once it came time for 2022, an opportunity arose where there was a convention in town. And I'm like, I can do this. Like, I've got good art. I can do this. And so I like did. I had artwork that I had created, um, had watercolor pieces of like Kai from EXO. Um, I did a piece of I did a watercolor piece of Ali from Squid Games, and I just was like, you know what? I've got all these pieces. Let me like get them printed. Let me like figure out some business cards. I did the whole shebang. And it wasn't a lot. I just like invested maybe like not even 500 into getting all this stuff like to have my first actual convention like vending thing, and I did it. And it was really exciting. Um so along the way, like I got to meet other vendors in this area, and I got to travel. I went to Spokane, Washington. Of course, I did a whole bunch of stuff in like in Oregon, and I decided, you know what, it might be time to like level up because I still had like the same art pieces, but I wasn't making any art to like replenish them or like to bring in something new. So I started making different merch items like bows, stickers, um, mini prints. I now have branched out to tote bags. Um, and I'm going to continue to do that and to continue to branch out. And my stuff now includes things that are in the anime world. I feel so bad. I haven't really been uh paying attention to anime as much, but one of my favorite shows is Spy X Family, and I do have like some Spy X Family stuff. Um I've been like keeping on tabs with like the big Chinese BLs that have come out, like The Untamed and like the MXTX books. And I just created stuff around that, things that I like, because it took a while for me to be okay with that, because for like during the summer I had hit a point where I was like, well, I like these things. I want to present these things in my business as like art and merch, but I I don't know if I should continue with this. It's not selling as well. Like I um I don't know if I should just like start doing stuff that I don't even know like what the characters are just because it might sell. And I had to stop and think like, no, like don't compromise your yourself and your craft for money. And that's been a hard kind of lesson to figure out and maneuver around, because of course you want it to be successful, but you also want to be true to yourself. And so at the end of the day, decided to be true to myself, which worked in my honor, because I finally got to do Rose City Comic Con. I at the end, like towards the end of 2022, and that was like a big boon for me. Um, and granted, prior to Rose City, I was doing like smaller conventions or markets, which they were comic focused too, so that probably was not helping me out. But yeah, Rose City Comic Con was probably the best decision, and like I didn't even know that I was gonna get in. I was on a wait list, and then I got in 2 weeks before, and I was like, yes, this is happening. So just to be someone who is like in a niche, even if like other folks just don't understand it or don't quite like rock with it, like that's fine. the like it's gonna be okay, that's fine. The thing that I did come out of every single convention this year, and I did like maybe 6 or 7, every single convention that I came out of, people told me, "Oh my god, your artwork is beautiful. Oh my god, it's like great. Oh my gosh, like you're talented." And I really appreciate that. I really appreciated that because it told me that it's not bad. It's just that people are just like, people are going to Comic-Con for comics, or people are going to Comic-Con for like heroes and stuff. Like they're going for specific things. And they might not know K-pop, which is fine. Um I I in 2023, I actually have booked a K-pop convention, which is like, I am so excited for that. I have come across maybe like 2 or 3 other folks that really focus just on K-pop stuff, which I appreciate that. Me personally, I kind of cover all 3 avenues of K-pop, anime, and like the BL genre. So I have a little bit more stuff to give, and I also do like pop culture stuff. So like when Wakanda Forever came out and Namor was a character, I immediately hopped on that and like designed him. Like I can't wait to do like more stuff around pop culture. Like it's yeah. So so yeah, so I've had a very interesting and and grateful learning experience this year. And I've gone through so many different iterations of my business card. I've gone through so many different iterations of like my display and what that looks like. And I'm just really happy that at even in like the lulls, even in the spaces where I felt like, oh, this might not work out. I was doubting myself. I was doubting my ability. Like I still never really gave up, and I just adapted. And I want to continue to do that. And this is why the podcast is one of those things. I'm adapting. Um so yeah, I am so super excited for 2023, and so excited for K Play Fest happening in Los Angeles. It's gonna be so super cool. January 14th and 15th. Yeah, I will probably be packing and all of that very early because it's gonna be my first flyaway convention, and I'm like so anxious about that. I've seen so many other creators have all of their stuff, and like they've got helpers, and like they they just do like these huge displays, and I'm like, I'm just little me by myself. Like so, but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it to just be a K-pop um convention all by itself. But I do know that there's like 3 other conventions happening at the same time, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm excited. 2023 is going to be a year that I amp up some things. I'm going to really take time to actually step back in one area of this business, which is to like do more traditional art. And I think that's really important for me to always keep that focus with my business, because I don't ever want to lose like that tangibility, that feeling of like pen to paper or pencil to paper. Like I really always want to keep that as my grounding in all of this art career stuff. So I do want to like focus more on doing more physical, like traditional illustrations, but digital is faster. Digital is faster. It's easier a lot of times. So it's never going to go out completely. And then I'm also having to like kind of rework things and figure out, okay, well, how am I going to get things printed? Because my printer previous to this is just like unavailable now. I can't do it the way I used to do. And I like to create a lot of stuff myself. I just like to have that creative control over how things look. So yeah, it's big things in 2023. And really just it's leveling up some of the things that I have now. And I think I've said I'm excited like 500 times already. But yeah, so if you've gotten all the way to the end of this podcast, please like or subscribe. I don't even actually know where it's going to be. I guess I'm going to post it on YouTube. But yeah, I would love to hear your feedback if you're a creator out there, if you're just starting off in the art biz, or if you've been in it for a while. Like how have you experienced, your art? How has it grown for you? How has it evolved? Because a year can make a lot of change in like your creative endeavors. So also good luck to the creators out there. This is hard, but it's not impossible. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. 2023, we out. Peace.